I was reborn on the day my husband Matthew Roberts cheated on me, and the first thing I did was ask my colleague Parker Clark to switch shifts with me. In my previous life, Matthew had an affair with my best friend Sophie Baker in a car behind my back. They suddenly got into a car accident and were both rushed to the hospital. When I received the news and hurried to the hospital, I saw that due to the crash, Matthew and Sophie's bodies had become stuck together. Later, Parker performed surgery on Matthew and Sophie. Both of them were fine, but I couldn't handle the shock and fainted on the spot. When I woke up, Matthew sent me divorce papers. The agreement demanded that I couldn't take any property with me and had to leave empty-handed. I used Matthew's infidelity as grounds to demand we split the assets 50-50. Matthew just sneered and said, "You are saying I cheated. Where is your proof?" Only then did I realize that because I was too shocked and had fainted, I hadn't taken any evidence of Matthew's affair. Plus, the hospital surveillance cameras happened to be broken. In the end, without proof of Matthew's infidelity, I lost the case in court and got nothing. On the day of the divorce, I walked out of the courthouse with nothing, completely dazed. While crossing the street, I was hit by a car and died. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself back on the day Matthew and Sophie were rushed to the hospital together. At the hospital, Parker, who had started working here the same time as me, was both surprised and delighted. After all, nobody wanted to work the night shift. He asked me, "Dr. Phillips, are you sure you want to switch shifts with me? If there is surgery, it is going to be really tough on you." "My name is Elizabeth Phillips." I smiled and nodded. "It is fine. I am feeling really energetic today. Even if there is surgery, I can handle it." Hearing this, Parker immediately packed up his things happily and left for the day. I turned around, dropped my smile, put on my mask, and prepared for surgery. Because I knew that in 20 minutes Matthew and Sophie would be rushed to the hospital after a car accident, caused by having an affair in the car, their bodies stuck together. In my previous life, Parker had performed this surgery. When I received the news and rushed to the hospital, I saw that scene and fainted immediately. Later, after Matthew and Sophie's surgery went fine, they asked me for a divorce and demanded I leave without taking any property. This time, I was going to make sure this pair of bastards lost everything. Sure enough, after about 10 minutes, chaotic sounds came from the emergency room lobby. Then Matthew's familiar, vicious screaming rang out. He shouted, "Sophie, don't move. You are going to break me. Help me. Where are the doctors? Where are the nurses? Get out here and save us." I peeked through the door crack. Sophie was lying on top of Matthew in an extremely awkward position. They were both naked, covered only by a bedsheet. All the colleagues present couldn't help but give them disgusted looks and whisper among themselves. A male doctor said, "What the hell is this situation? How did they end up like this? Coming to the hospital naked? Don't they feel any shame?" A female nurse said, "They're obviously not in a proper relationship. They were just yelling about not letting anyone take photos, probably afraid it'll get out." Sophie kept screaming too, then suddenly seemed to remember something. She lowered her voice and said, "Matthew, keep it down. Elizabeth works at this hospital. If she finds out about us, she'll definitely raise hell." Matthew heard this and snorted coldly. He said, "Don't worry. Elizabeth isn't on shift today. Besides, that idiot only cares about work and nothing else. What could she possibly figure out? If it weren't for her good family background, I would have divorced her ages ago. And with that haggard look of hers, I have zero interest when I see her. She is nothing like you." Ow. Even in this situation, Matthew kept staring at Sophie's body. I couldn't watch anymore. Fighting back my disgust, I put on my cap and mask properly, then suited up in full protective gear before walking out. I said directly, "Prepare for surgery immediately. If we delay any longer, these two are going to have more problems. Don't you dare dirty our hospital beds."